Yo, 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 what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, Tbkc, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Um, this one is a pretty good question about another dog. We talked about Rock and Ruby, and this one is about the great one himself, Remy. I tell you what, Remy is like a two-part story in a lot of ways. And the first part being is that Remy was an incredible dog. It's amazing to think that Fabian got Remy for 800 bucks and a treadmill because, like many edge puppies, Remy was an ugly puppy. That's just the way a lot of them are. I told y'all that they don't typically come out bully. They typically look more terrier and not really the cutest puppies of all time. But anyway. Once Fabian got Remy, the bully world would probably never be the same. And the reason why I say this in regards to Remy is because Remy may have been the first dog that we really started to see a different mentality in breeding of dogs. Period. And the reason, and I won't say he, like no breeder anywhere ever did it this way, but Remy started a thing where Fabian made it very clear that this was about business. You know what I mean? It wasn't a lot of limitations on what Remy would be bred to. It was just breed Remy, and if Remy produced, it was Remyline. If he didn't produce, it was your fault. But Fabian made no mistakes about it that he was a businessman, and that Remy was a part of his business, and in this world, Remy was his business. Throughout that process, there were some incredible dogs that were created. In the Edge family, Remy would very much so be considered one of the greatest producers of all time. Although bred a lot, he produced a lot. I mean, the term Remyline, and for those who are not familiar, it grew so incredible that there was actually at one point in time a Remyline kennel club. You would see a lot of people with their forearms tattooed with Remyline on there. The slogan, "One dog, one line," and the thing of it is that he was very amazing because he lived up to it. You would see Remyline dogs and they all looked like him. It was amazing. He would throw himself over and over and over again. Low Jack Remy Martin. And I mean, it was just so many, great dogs that had his blood in there. And I think the thing of it is that it was like probably one of the greatest missed opportunities of the American Bully history. And the reason I say that is because if Remy was especially during his time, had been looked at more so as what he was a true producer and a great representative of the American Bully, it could have been capitalized on in such a way that it might, to this day, we would have still been pushing Remyline, maybe not so much the line, but the look. His look was undeniable. He represented everything that an American Bully was. When you seen Remy, you didn't confuse him with a bulldog. You didn't confuse him with a terrier. He was an American Bully, and he threw that look, and he threw it incredibly. And the sad part about it is because a lot of what he did was just, him. And I'm not taking away from the breeders because some of those people were great breeders and they created some great Remyline dogs. But a huge part of his legacy was just Remy being Remy. It wasn't a ton of thought put into a lot of the breedings, and then those who did put a ton of thought into the breedings and really, really made this dog what it was and carried on the Remyline name in a strong fashion, were greatly let down, and I probably would say, one of the hardest things to take about Remy was probably I wouldn't say maybe at his peak or slightly, I would say at his peak. It was the point in time when the Remyline Kennel Club was starting to go pretty strong. It was a time when, you know, Remyline was all around the world, and it was strongly represented by a lot of people who believed in it. Like I say, to the point to put the Remyline tattoos on there. And they were showing up in droves with dogs that were undeniable Remy. And this thing was going in, you know, in such a great direction. At that point in time, you know, decisions were made by, you know, some of the higher ups in the Remyline family to start doing things like the Rem Bull. And the Rem Bull was basically pushing an extreme look, you know, a more Remy to a bulldog type of look. And with that coming into effect, you know, it was pretty much heartbreaking. And more so heartbreaking to those who had pushed Remyline and had made the dog into what he wanted. I mean, what it should have been, a worldwide brand, a look, everything that you would want to, you know, not just do a line with, but what you would probably want to do a breed with. Remyline was identifiable throughout the world. It was respected throughout the world. And once the Rem Bull came along, I think it sort of epitomized what a lot of people had felt, and they had felt that Fabian never was truly into it for the Remy dog. And I'm not speaking for Fabian. Fabian is a cool-ass dude, you know, but this is just, you know, a video the way we have to call it, the way most of us see it. You know, later on, seeing Fabian go to the exotic world and do a bunch of other things, people felt like more so, like, you know, you heard things like Fabian's a piece of shit. People felt betrayed because they truly believed in the Remyline vision. And it was no parts in doing of the dog himself. It was no parts in doing of the blood and the capability of the Remyline blood. It was more so that when you have a leader and the leader sort of vacates the movement, you know, we have seen what happens. And this hasn't just happened in Remyline. Let's just be realistic. It's very much so happened in the American Bully as a whole, you know, as we've seen, you know, when so-called leaders in our community vacate the breed, this is what happens. And, you know, Remy himself, great dog, great producer, and to me is one of the more tragic stories in the American Bully community, because if you were ever given somebody or something that was supposed to lead a movement and could lead a breed to being something special, Remy was truly, I would say Remy along with Paco definitely were the faces of the breed and were the two most popular dogs of this breed, and were the dogs that could have pushed this breed to a almost astronomical level, not just in popularity, but in respect, because the type of dogs that they created were healthy, beautiful, clean dogs that had a very distinct look that said everything that you needed to know about the American Bully. And it was a very big blown opportunity, man. But I will tell y'all this, Remyline, when they had their moment, was one of the greatest dynasties in American Bully history, and definitely deserves all the respect in the world. Until next time, y'all, much love. Peace.